Hello, and welcome back to the podcast that would also definitely eat that pizza. Welcome back to the Love, Death, and Movies podcast, internet's number one film breakdown and review podcast that crunches watch lists week after week. Now every 2 months is a different genre. Every week within that 2 months is a different film in that genre. So follow us on everything, join along for the ride, and let's watch some movies. I'm one of your hosts, Ash, and with me each and every week is Harry, who we know is in a good mood because the Swans won, but I'm going to ask you anyways. How are you, Harry?
120 points, well, just shy of that, like 114 or something points. It was a massacre. It was great.
It was a massacre, yeah?
It was like the first 15 minutes they were like equaling us, and then we're just like, oh, that's how you play football. It was awesome. That was great. I'm great. So from that, I'm really, really good. How are you, Ash?
Amazing. I'm also good. Yeah, nothing as exciting as that happening for me, but it's the end of May, which is crazy. New month starting out, I guess. That's always a reason to get excited. New month, halfway through the year. I don't even want to talk about that. That's crazy. But yeah, can't believe we're already jumping into our, third genre of the year, which is...
Yeah, it's nuts, eh?
Third or fourth? It's third or fourth. It's a lot. But we're starting off a new month. So this is our book of 80s bangers. So we decided to start doing decades. So we've got a lot of variety these next 2 months, and we are starting off strong with a fun one that we've never seen, either of us, Slumber Party Massacre. Before we get into the movie, how was your week? What have you been up to? How have you been doing?
Been good. What have I been up to this week? I saw Backrooms again, at the Sydney premiere for it. I liked it a little bit less the second time. I think I agree with kind of the overall consensus of the film that, like, I think it's just a very impressive debut. Mm-hmm. And, like, there's a lot of it, like, the found footage stuff is so sick, it's awesome, and the actual, like, idea and the, like, the fact that they, like, built so many sets of these backrooms, I'm like, fuck yeah, unreal. I love all that shit. But then there's, like, they try and string together this, like, pretty, like, story. And it's like, just you don't need that, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you really don't need that. Like, but like, it's still, I think it's enjoyable. I'm really curious to see what you think about it when you see it. But I don't think you need a rush for that. Like, we were chatting before, I was like, when you are able to see Obsession,
yeah,
that is Ash priority numero uno right there. I think you're gonna love Obsession. But yeah, so that was all right. Reading, I'm just continuing on with Iron Gold. These are the greatest books I've ever read. They're just dense. They take me a lot longer than a thriller to read. I'm like halfway through now of this one. Then I've got 2 more after that, and then I'm like up to date. And I made the decision this week that I'm like, I'm just gonna stick to it. Like, because normally I put like 3 or 4 books in between each one just to break it up. I'm like, no, I'm just gonna like do Iron Gold, then Dark Age, then Lightbringer, and then I'm just like gonna just like finish it. But the next 2 are like very long. Like the one I'm currently reading is like 600 pages. So the next one is like
definitely
650
long.
and 700. So I'm like, I'm just gonna like keep in that universe until I'm done. Because then I've got so many physical copies that I need to read, because I'm probably going to be moving in like December, and I've got to like clear out a bunch of them. And my whole mindset of keeping books is, if it's a 4.5 or above. If it's a 5, I definitely keep it. If it's a 4.5, I probably keep it. And then there's like select authors that I keep. Like me and you are Frida fans. I'll keep all Frida books. But then like I finished Silent Patient. That's gone.
Donation. Yeah.
I like give it to my friends, and then once they read it, because I got like a friend that loves horror, and I got a friend that loves thrillers. So when I finish a thriller, give it to her. Finish a horror, give it to him, and then when they've finished it, I either if I want it, take it back. But if I don't, I just like put it in the street library that's just on my street. Which is good. But I feel like I saw other movies this week, but I can't remember if I did or not. I saw. Sorry, I feel like I'm about to sneeze. Sorry if I go off mute for a one. No, God, dude, this thing has been edging me.
It's been stuck.
It's killing me. I saw Leviticus on Friday, which is this Australian horror film that is very much like a reincarnation of It Follows, and it's I'm interviewing the cast this week, and it's made by the same production studio that did Talk to Me,
Okay.
And the main character is the brother in Talk to Me, the one that gets like really fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fine. It tried to say too much, and it like didn't answer anything that like it was kind of presenting, which was kind of annoying. But
Mm.
it kind of is what it is. But that was my week. Ash, how about you?
Okay. Yeah, sounds like a pretty good week. I mean, watching wise, I literally watched the two movies we're going to talk about today. Spoiler alert, we're both recording. So I watched this movie and the next one we're going to talk about, which is The Shining. And then I did start the Spider Noir show with Nicolas Cage on Amazon in black and white because that's the only way to watch it. I like it. I think it's fun. I don't know. I've only watched 2 episodes, but I definitely think it's worth a watch. And it's weirdly one of the Amazon Prime shows that doesn't have ads. Like Amazon has ads on everything now, but for some reason this show doesn't. You just get to watch the whole episode,
Oh yeah.
which is I'm here for it. So yeah, started watching that. And then otherwise I've been reading, I was just telling you, I'm reading Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson and like almost halfway through. It's probably the longest it's taken me to read a thriller to date. Now I have been a little bit busier, so I haven't been able to read as much, but I'm still just not getting through as much at a time as I normally would with a thriller. So it's just not really like sitting with me quite the same as others where I'm like, I can't put it down and I want to know what's happening. So we'll see where it goes. I still want to finish it. I'm not like, I know people say that you should like stop reading a book if you don't like it. Like, don't be afraid to do that. But I'm too early in my book journey for that. Like, I'm going to see it through to the
I hate
end.
DNFing. I don't want to DNF.
Yeah,
I was like, you just take an extra couple of days and just power through it. 'Cause
exactly.
it makes
Like,
the next one so much better.
well, and maybe it's because we're movie watchers and it's like
Yeah.
you have to watch bad movies to enjoy good. So to me, I'm like, you have to read bad books to be able to appreciate good books. So I'm not going to put it down. I'm not like to the point where I need to read so many books that I can't finish one that I don't love. So yeah, it's going to get finished. We'll see. I'm going to try to finish it by the end of the weekend because I really want to like finish it off in the month of May so that it's like part of my finished books for May and I can start something fresh in June. So I'll keep you posted on that one. But otherwise, nothing really crazy for me. My family's all coming into town next week for my niece's graduation from high school, so it's going to be a hectic week. So I'm just looking forward to relaxing this weekend before that, and then I'm off next Thursday and Friday. So just have a short week at work coming up, and that'll be nice. So that's me. Shall we get into talking about Slumber Party Massacre?
Yes. Let's talk
Okay.
about this film.
Okay, so Slumber Party Massacre released in 1982 with a budget of around $250,000. Super low budget, you can tell. It's pretty clear from, watching it. It's got nobody that you recognize in it. It's got a super low budget as far as like the filmmaking style and all of the, wardrobe and set and all of that. But it did gross $3.6 million dollars at the box office, which
Pretty impressive.
pretty impressive. I agree. I feel like if that title and like poster came out at that time when slashers were sort of like up and coming, everybody would have been excited about going to the theater to see it. Like honestly, I'm not too surprised that it did well. It did receive mixed reviews from critics. I wouldn't say it's like a beloved slasher, but it is a very fun one. And like a lot of movies, it's now gained a cult status. So that's why people kind of are talking about it and you hear more about it now. Film goes as follows. Trish invites her high school basketball teammates over for a night they'll never forget when an unexpected guest crashes the party, an escaped psychopath with a portable power drill. So this is our first time watch for both of us. So give me your initial thoughts, opinions. Did you like Slumber Party Massacre?
It's fun. The This movie's so horny, but it's it's ridiculously. Can we just talk? I know you'll get to it. The neighbor, Mr. Content, is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
What is he doing? Like he just turns up everywhere. He's just in the house at points. Oh, yeah, I guess I'll go home. And then he's
Well, the
just like in their
parents
backyard.
asked him to keep an eye on her, and he's the neighbor. So
That sounds like you're giving me excuses right now. I feel like Chris Hansen's about to come out to this guy and be like,
I don't think it was supposed to be like that. I do think he was meant to be. The problem with this movie is that all the actors look the same age, even the
yeah,
ones that are supposed to be older. I think that's part of the problem.
yeah, definitely. No, but I enjoyed this. I think it's fun. It's super campy, and it's like you go into it knowing that you're gonna have a fun time.
Yeah,
I love the drill. The drill's so sick. There's like
it's
little
wild.
things where it's like they do the peephole at the beginning of the movie, and I'm like, we're gonna see something like that soon. Like, I think it's pretty fun. Um, I don't think it does anything to like kind of rise above like iconic 80s slashers, but I think it's just like a good run of the mill slasher. Like it's not going to hold a candle to like anything like Nightmare or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But because I feel like the one thing they didn't do too much on is like really delve into the villain at all. Like just make him like an iconic character. They made like the drill like they're just centering everything around the drill, but like majority of the time he's just like a shadow.
I
Um,
kind of liked it. I kind of liked that it was like
just a random
the
dude.
POV was kind of different, but I also like that they show the killer like from the beginning. You're not like watching somebody that you don't get to see their face or something. Like he's just a
Yeah,
guy, just in denim on denim, carrying around this power tool that doesn't need to be plugged in. Um, and he's just he has no like no you don't know his motive. You don't really know like is it just the teenagers? Is it just the girls? Oh
yeah,
no, he's willing to kill anybody. Like there's
literally.
no one's off the table. So I do think that was kind of that part of it was kind of fun for me and was a little different than say like Halloween or Texas Chainsaw. But yes, I agree. It didn't like reinvent the wheel by any means.
Yeah, but I had fun with it though. I thought it was fun. I'm glad we watched it. Like
Yeah,
it's exactly what I thought it would be, and that's a good thing.
mhm,
What do you think?
absolutely. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's an hour and 13 minutes. Like I knew it was going to just be quick. It was
Oh,
going to be
that also is fantastic.
absolutely. You need really like solid 75 to 85-minute movies sometimes to just throw on. I mean, I had a lot of fun with it. You know me, I'm a big slasher fan. I'm a big 80s fan, so I thought it was good. I didn't think that Trish was that interesting of a character, but I thought Valerie was
Yeah,
definitely
Valerie's
the
cool.
more interesting as far as like a final girl, I guess you could call it. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was definitely not the best in certain aspects. Obviously, you know, like peeping Tom teenage boys and
Mhm.
kind of maybe mildly creepy neighbor guy who comes around and there was definitely some things in it that were very 80s and definitely problematic, but that's not like I kind of expected it to have things like that just from the time period and how low budget it was. But
Yeah,
I think the aspect of it being around like a women's basketball like high school team was kind of interesting. I don't know, that's kind of different. You don't see that
I
every
love
day.
the basketball clips at the beginning.
The
The
coach.
little the basketball clips at the beginning
Oh, clips, yeah.
where they're playing basketball. I was like, I just thought that was awesome. I was
How
like,
bad were all of them at basketball
they
though?
were
Like
horrific.
horrible. I was like, this is supposed to be a basketball team. You guys suck.
There was one player that like took the ball and like took like 7 steps. Like, yeah, you can't do that.
They were
Like,
like
no.
dribbling like way like up here by their heads. I was like, I think it was supposed to almost be like this is my theory. It reminded me a little bit of how when they made like Evil Dead, people didn't realize it was like a horror comedy, so they
Oh
had to make
right.
Evil Dead 2 to make it like really obvious that it was like a horror comedy. I feel like this was the like an attempt at making a like a horror comedy, but people maybe didn't take it that way because then they went and made a second and a third and a fourth
Mm.
Summer Party Massacre movie. It's a whole franchise if you didn't know that.
Yeah,
So
I kind of want to watch all of them now. I
I feel
wish
like
that
they've
we
got to be
found
fun.
this out and we made a like we gambled and we're like, let's do a month of Slumber Party
It's like Final
Massacre.
Destination, an entire month
Yeah,
of Summer Party
that was
Massacre.
fun. There was so many shit films then.
Yeah. I don't know. I had way more fun with it than I was expecting to be honest.
Yeah,
Like I thought it was gonna be like shitty. Like I thought it was gonna be like, okay, that was like fun but shitty. But I actually came out of it being like, honestly, I would watch that again. Like
same. I want to
I
show
really
people
enjoyed
this
it.
film. I
Yeah,
just feel like it's ridiculous.
same. Okay, great. Well, we can talk more about little funny moments and scenes throughout, but pretty quick breakdown. I just have two parts, so
Yes,
feel
there's
free
not
to
that much that happens in this film. It's like
no, and I kind of like extended out some of the of what's happening just for the sake of breaking it down, but obviously it's a pretty simplistic movie. Slashers are a little bit tough to really walk through the plot because there's not a whole lot of plot going on.
before you start, can I ask, do you remember like your favorite quote in this film? Because I've got my favorite quote.
Yeah, I have mine in here.
Okay, then I'll leave it until you say it because it might be the same one.
Okay.
It might be the same one. I don't want to ruin
There's a couple really great lines. I didn't write all of them down,
it.
but
It's so fucking
I did put one
perfect.
in here that I
Yeah.
really think is funny. Okay, so takes place in Venice, California, Southern California, where 18-year-old high school senior Trish Devereaux is, I think that's how you say it, Devereaux. Devereaux decides to throw a slumber party with some of her friends slash teammates while her parents are out of town. Classic. While her parents are packing up to leave, you already brought up the neighbor, but the neighbor, Mr. Content, is put in charge of keeping an eye on the girls. So I took it as the parents had kind of asked him, like, can you make sure, like, no funny business is going on? He gave off more of like an uncle vibe to me than like a creepy vibe, but I can understand. I can understand
Like,
what
get the fuck out of the house, dude.
that was definitely strange. I think that what this is my theory, and we're gonna obviously get more into it, but I think that they were trying to make it almost like you didn't know who to trust, and they didn't always do the best job at it because it's like you saw the killer in the first 10 minutes, so you can't make a movie where you're trying to fake out and like trying to like figure out who you can trust and not trust if you show us the killer. Now, if you didn't show us the killer, then you can do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's kind of to me, that's how I took it, is like they wanted the audience to almost like not know who was going to pop around the corner kind of thing. So I think Mr. Content ended up kind of being used in that way where it's like, we're going to make you think the killer's in the house. But just kidding, it's actually the neighbor.
I love that.
Yeah. So meanwhile at school, the girls are having basketball practice while a tight jean wearing telephone repair woman is fixing something outside the gym. Never seen a female telephone repair person in my life.
Yeah, that's also the biggest fucking ladder of all time.
I love how the shot's just like her butt for like
Yeah.
2 minutes straight.
How many takes do you reckon they did that?
Who knows? I mean, even like the showering scene, I'm just like the coordination of that. But then it's just like a shot for 30 seconds, just bare ass.
It's unreal, isn't it?
It definitely is a very horny movie. But it's I feel like it's trying to do like that classic 80s thing, like even like what's the one, the summer camp one with Jason. Oh my God. Friday the 13th. That one has just like unnecessary nudity. So I feel like they were kind of going with like that campy style where it's just like you're just going to be naked just because we can.
Yeah, for sure.
But two high school guys, Jeff and Neil, attempt to flirt with this repair woman as she walks back to her van. But as they walk away, she's snatched into her van by escaped serial killer Russ Thorne. I love the scene where you can see them just like walking and she's just like in the window, like trying to scream for help.
Yeah.
Some of the shots are really fun in that way where you kind of see something happening behind the characters and they have no clue what's going on.
Don't you reckon that reminds you a bit of Scream 2 with Randy?
Yes. Yeah, it definitely feels like it like has a lot of those tropes that I mean, obviously Scream 2 came later, but
still, yeah, maybe that's like a callback.
Yeah, I mean even Halloween as well. Like there's always that thing where characters are talking about something and it's right behind them, or they're so clueless to what's happening, right behind that, whatever it may be. That's a very popular trope in slashers. But yeah, he kills her with his signature power tool weapon, and steals her van, which is rude.
Yeah.
Trish meets up with her friends Kim, Jackie, and Diane after their post-practice showers and invites the new girl Valerie, who lives next door to her as well, to the slumber party, but Valerie declines. Also, Diane is such a biatch. Like, why don't you want Valerie to come? I got beef with Diane. Like, she was so unnecessarily rude.
Yeah, there's no reason for it.
She was just like, just didn't like her for she was jealous probably of her basketball skills.
Yeah, true.
While still at school, Linda, which is another girl on their team, forgets her books in her locker, and while she's off to go find them, she ends up getting attacked by Russ. I actually really like this scene because I feel like it's one of the more like drawn out kill scenes, which we don't really get later. But she puts up a good fight, tries to get away, but he finds her after her blood, because he slices her arm and her blood is like pooling under the door. So they don't show it, but you kind of assume that he ends up catching her after she screams like that and can't really run anywhere. Before the slumber party starts, Trish sees the front door unlocked and open and gets spooked by Mr. Content when he comes from upstairs. Again, he probably shouldn't have been upstairs in her house.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree with that. He could have definitely just come in and been like, hey, Trish, are you okay?
Yeah, or knock.
Yeah. No, I took it as they were trying to make us be like, can we trust him? Can we not? You know what I mean? I don't know if he was meant to be like creepy in that way or just creepy in like a, we don't know if we can trust him kind of way.
I ain't gonna trust him.
But yeah, I agree. I definitely, I don't know. He had a weird vibe for sure. He tells her he saw the door open and wanted to check things out to make sure she was okay. And then he waits with her until her friends arrive with booze and marijuana. And then he does like the I'm going to be the cool guy thing and is like, I won't tell. I'm going to leave now. Kind of sketch, but you know, they're staying home. They can, they can have a little fun if they're not leaving the house.
They're being wholesome. It's fun.
Yeah. Very wholesome to get naked in your living room right in front of the window and, change into your PJs.
80s, man.
Valerie is next door babysitting her younger sister Courtney, who's driving her crazy and asking about going to the slumber party. That character drove me
Insane.
absolutely nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I think was the point. While the girls change into their pajamas in front of the living room window, as I mentioned, Jeff and Neil spy on them as they were planning on crashing the party. This is like the classic, like I feel like in every 80s movies, there's always a creepy guy staring at naked girls. It's just like, man, what a time to be alive. Yeah, so they spy on them and they were planning on crashing the party. So what follows here is basically kind of what I was saying earlier. You have like a bunch of fake outs. So like during this whole section of the movie is just like moments where you think that it's the killer, but it's not, which I kind of loved, to be honest. I was like, it kept getting me kind of like excited. And then it was like, oh no, it's not what we thought. So I kind of thought it was a fun way to like build up to that second half of the movie.
Yeah, agreed.
Cool.
I love yeah, as you said, there's like so many scenes where you're like, this person, like it even focuses on different like when he goes out to the garage and stuff, like different places of like, oh, he's about to be killed with this thing, or like, and it's like, it's never that, which I thought was pretty cool. Yeah. For
exactly.
Like a 1980s bare budget slasher. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, agreed. And some of the camera work is really fun, like the POV that the like killer has. Sometimes you're like from his perspective, sometimes you're like kind of like behind him as it changes perspective a lot, which I think is really fun. So last thing I'll say before I pause is the power goes out. So Trish and Diane go to the detached garage, which is like behind her house, to reset it, which I love that they chose to do a detached garage, because every time they'd have to like deal with something, they have to leave the house, which adds to the kind of scariness of it, right? So there's really nowhere to hide when you have to go outside and then back into this garage. So they go to reset the power and they notice fuses are missing. They're spooked when they find Jeff and Neil hiding in there trying to scare them. They end up letting them come in the house. I don't know if it's Jeff or Neil. One of them gets punched in the face or like basically, gets hit. But I'll be honest, that kind of got me that moment because I was not expecting it to be them, which I thought was a really fun fake out. So I'll pause there. Anything to add so far? The second half is really just, I'm going to finish off the movie. So
yeah, honestly, like not too much, because you kind of said everything. That's what I love about these type of movies. They're just so simple. You just throw it on, you just leave your brain at the door, just have fun.
Yep.
And yeah, I think do you prefer the first or second half of the film?
I prefer the second half of the film.
Yeah, so do I. I think that's where it kind of like goes, it understands what it is, and it's just like goes balls to the wall and kind of just gets even like crazier every single time.
100%. Yeah. I agree. What did you think of the fact that the serial killer, I know we kind of mentioned it already, but like the fact that he was just like fully out, not hidden. He was just like a regular guy.
Just a regular dude.
In denim jacket, denim pants.
Well, that's why I was like, this kind of like would harm the franchise, because like it doesn't have the iconic killer for that franchise that like you could just keep going along. Like I think that the best one to ever do is Ghostface, because it's literally just a costume and anyone
could be anyone, yeah.
But this is just like, it kind of just makes the drill kind of the iconic bit. But every villain has their iconic weapon. But that was the one thing I was like, I didn't mind it for this film, but I think it hurts it as a franchise.
Yeah, I definitely think the weapon is more the and I'm curious, my prediction would be that like in the follow-up movies, maybe the weapon is the continuing thing and not the killer. Maybe that's what it is. And yeah, just like the camera angles they would get on the drill too. I thought were really like fun and made it a lot more like intriguing during those scenes where you didn't know if someone was about to get killed or not. Obviously, he did use other weapons technically. Like I think he killed somebody with a knife, and like it wasn't just that, but that's like obviously his signature thing. So I'll be very curious to see if the other ones actually just like continue the weapon or if it's a totally different killer and a totally different weapon.
Yeah, looking at photos now, there is a giant drill.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured by the ending. I was like, okay, so it's the weapon that's going to be found by somebody.
Yeah. This guy looks awesome. I want to watch this movie now.
The second one?
Yeah, he looks sick. He literally looks like Elvis just with a drill.
Oh, great. Perfect.
Shit out of that.
Okay, well, let's continue into the second part, which is basically going to be finishing off the movie. So, Russ is followed to the neighborhood, our killer, and he ends up killing Mr. Content. I'm sure you were very happy for that scene. And Diane talks to her boyfriend on the phone while the girls are making fun of her. I actually thought that scene was really funny. Added some some girl like comedic humor. I don't know if it's just because like I've obviously had slumber parties or had like girls' nights. I felt like some of the banter they had was actually like just like a fun little breakup of the fact that it was a horror film. And then he ends up coming over, and he actually parks in the garage while she checks with Trish about leaving for a while to be with him. And when she returns to the car, she's excited to get to be with her boyfriend, and she discovers that he's been decapitated. I think all the girls in this movie have really great screams, but yeah, this is one of the pretty iconic screams of the movie. Nobody hears her, and then she tries to escape but is murdered as well. Back inside, the girls order pizza and are arguing about like runs in a game that they watched over the weekend. So they call their coach to confirm like who's right and what happened in the game. While they're on the phone with her, the doorbell rings and they assume it's the pizza. When they ask the pizza delivery driver through the door, "What's the damage?" he replies, 6 so far. Love that. That's like my favorite.
Okay, that's not my favorite line, but that's up there for sure.
Yeah,
my favorite line before I forget it is, here you go. "Hello 911, I'd like to report a murder," and their response is, "Do you want the police?" I thought that was awesome. I thought that was awesome.
No, not the police.
Yeah,
how about firemen?
Send the fire department.
Oh, I love it though. Yeah. So they open the door to find the pizza delivery driver's eyes have been gouged out, and he falls over into the house. They panic and decide to arm themselves with knives. The body is left inside because why not? Jeff and Neil decide they need to take care of the girls and step up, so they are going to go outside and try to find help. I'm sorry, these boys are both smaller than all of those girls who play basketball, who are probably tougher than they are.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Big time.
Which I kind of loved that, like, the only two guys that help go out and get murdered. Like, usually in horror films, I feel like there's always, like, a guy and a girl kind of as the last ones to sort of fight it out, like a couple or something. But I kind of liked that it was kind of just, like, two dopey guys who were so unprepared for what they were going to have to deal with. So they go out, and they both end up getting offed by Russ, trying to help. I think it's... Jeff, his is rough because like he tries to escape and then he ends up at the back door and he's like trying to plead for help, but they're in there. They can't quite tell what's going on. Kim and Trish. What?
It might be Jeff.
I think it's Jeff.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I don't remember which one was which, but I'm pretty sure.
That's what they say. Like they're like he's like on the back and there's like who could it be? He goes, might be Jeff.
But we better not help. We better not find out because we might die.
Exactly. Well,
but
you
that
open
one,
the door. You definitely not open that door. No way.
No, but I also love when Valerie comes around later and she's like looking at the door. It's so obviously blood. She's like, I don't think anyone's here. It's pretty quiet. It's dark. Like, girl, you just looked at the door and there's blood.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Exactly.
But maybe if you didn't know it was blood, you just think, somebody spilled some ketchup. I don't know, but that would have been a little sus to me if I was investigating. So. Unfortunately, both boys are offed by Russ, like I said, trying to help. Valerie attempts to knock on Trish's door to see if they're okay, because the coach calls her to check in because she heard, obviously, screams and weird stuff when they were on the phone with her when the pizza got there. But Jackie goes to open the door to let Valerie in, and she's met with Russ putting the drill tool directly through her stomach. So that's fun.
Oh, that's
I actually really think
that
that
has
scene
to
is
be like one of the
pretty.
worst ways.
Yeah, I think that scene's pretty like, ooh,
Yeah.
it's brutal. So Trish and Kim freak out, running upstairs, and they barricade themselves into Trish's bedroom. And while thinking they're safe, oh, this is my favorite scene in the entire movie. Him coming from behind them through the window as they're like talking about everything, not even expecting that they're gonna have to fight him off.
Yep.
I think visually, I love when horror films do that, when there's like somebody behind the characters and they don't know, and it's just like very subtle. You know what I mean? They don't make any noise, they just creep up on them. And they're able to almost escape, but unfortunately, Kim does not make it out. But Trish is able to get out of the house um, and try to save herself. So Courtney, the sister, has decided to come over to the house because she's been desperate to come to this party all night. So Valerie comes to find her. They do find their way into the house, and after thinking they didn't find anything, thinking that nobody's home, they go to leave. And I love this. Courtney opens the fridge, the body's there.
So
She
good.
closes it, opens it, closes it. She goes back for a third time, all the way open, body falls out, and we get another iconic scream. So they hide, realizing the killer is inside the house, which I don't know if he didn't hear the scream or if he just can't find them. I couldn't quite figure that out, but I was like,
That's
you
a
would hear the
classic
scream.
trope as well.
Yeah.
Of like people that are literally talking at the like yelling at each other.
Yeah.
And people upstairs that just can't hear shit. You're like, if you whisper, you could be heard. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Classic trope.
So they're hiding. I think Valerie goes out to the garage and Courtney's under the couch, which is wild. And he's in there and he hides himself under like this big blanket tarp thing with his weapon next to him, just waiting for somebody to come look, and he can obviously get his next victim. So Coach Jana comes over at this point to see what's going on. She comes inside. She, of course, goes to look at the blanket. She finds him. She does attempt to fight him off, but he ends up disemboweling her with the drill, which is, oh, I always hate those scenes. It's so gross. Yeah, it's awful. And Trish does attempt to, she like runs in and like slides with the knife to try to help, but she doesn't help. She never really ends up getting to actually hurt him. So Valerie finds a machete in the garage and is able to slice off his hand when they're outside. This whole scene is really great when they're by the pool. They're fighting. She gets his hand clean off. And then she's able to slice him in the stomach and he falls in the pool. But of course does the typical like killer thing where he's like reemerges. He's not dead. He ends up falling directly on top of her with the machete in her hand and goes right through him. So he's finally killed. Valerie, Trish, Courtney all survive, which kind of crazy to have a slasher. 3 characters survive.
Good on it.
But they all break down in tears. We kind of get like a shot of all of them. And then the movie just kind of ends. That's just it. That's Slumber Party Massacre. There's no big finale. It's just over. So
It's just done.
give me your final thoughts. We know your favorite quote now, but anything else to add? Anything else you really loved about this?
I think it's just a really fun movie. Like,
Yeah.
if you like slashers and you haven't seen it, definitely knock it off. I kind of want to watch the second and third one now. So after this is good fun. But it knows what it is. It's just campy, and it's like it had like one location basically for the whole film just to shoot in. I love those type of films. They're fun. And just stalking them. It has all the fun tropes of every 80s horror of all time, which is good. But yeah, I give it 3.5. I think it's just like for what it is, it's just fun.
I absolutely agree. Yeah, I gave it 3.5 as well. Liked it more than I thought I would. Like I said, I thought it would be like more in that bad arena, but I think it actually like achieved what it was trying to do really well. I think there's some really fun camera work and just some fun stuff they do with the killer that is still in line with everything we've seen before, but also kind of adds its own, type of variety to it. So really glad that I finally watched this. I've been looking at this movie for years. I see it when I'm like scrolling on Amazon Prime to look for something and I'm like, eh. But I'm glad we finally had an excuse to watch it because I'm always down to check off a new slasher, especially when it's like in that, 80s or 90s genre. So, yeah, very, very fun. We love a good campy horror here. So, to continue talking about more of them, we're going to draft bad horror films. So 3.0 or lower on Letterboxd. We'll just do 5 each, and you can start if you'd like.
I'd love to. Because this movie got 2.6 on Letterboxd. I rate it 4.5, and the genres are crime, thriller, and horror. So I'm hoping you accept this trap.
Yeah, I think
And
trap counts.
I
I
agree.
wouldn't say that it's like campy necessarily in the traditional
No,
sense, but that's fine. Still,
yeah, I definitely
still
think
fits. I
trap's
forgot you give that such a high score.
I fucking love trap. I think trap's awesome.
Okay. Yeah, I do enjoy trap as well. I'm trying to think like what my best, worst horror film would be. Oh, there's a couple I could start with. Sorry, I'm just kind of glancing at my list here. Let's see. I think that I'm gonna try to keep this all in the vein of just like it's bad but great.
Mm-hmm.
What is that one? Sorry. Oh my God, I just lost my list. Hang tight. Hang
Take your time.
tight.
Take your time. There's a lot
I
of good options here, to be honest.
yeah, I'm just like trying to think what the one that I would rate like the highest that is the lowest. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
trying to make sure I'm not forgetting any. There's a lot of great ones that I love.
There's a movie you haven't seen, whilst you think of it, that like I probably won't pick just because I just don't think it deserves to. I just don't think it has been seen enough. Yeah, it's only been
Hmm.
seen by 15 people. That's why it's 2.8. A movie coming out called Slated that I watched last year at the film
Oh,
festival.
Slanted?
Slanted, yeah.
I watched it.
Oh, what'd you think?
I gave it like 3.5. I thought it was an interesting premise. I think it got a little lost in itself.
Sure.
But I thought it was fucked up, like the whole like premise of it. Shit was crazy.
Fucking love that movie.
Not as much horror like as I thought it would be though, like with like
No.
the body horror aspects. But I appreciate what they were trying to do. Okay, wait, I think I have one. Okay, yes, I'm taking this one because I love this movie. I think it's so
Yeah.
gross and fun, and that's Thanksgiving. It's a
Yes,
2.9.
nice. That was on my list for sure. I love that. I'm gonna take Willy's Wonderland with Nick
Still haven't
Cage.
seen that one. Yeah, that's the Nick Cage one. You've told me about
That
that one before.
is, it's like Five Nights at Freddy's, but good.
That's right. Okay, I'll definitely have to check that one out.
Oh, I'm looking at it. Top review: Five Nights at Freddy's. Wish it was this good.
That's so funny.
That's awesome.
Okay, one that I've loved forever that I feel like people hate, and I don't know if it's just because I haven't rewatched it in a minute, but it's always been one of my favorites, and that's The Strangers, like the
I
OG
love The
one.
Strangers. That's a great
I
movie.
think it's great for a home invasion movie, but people hate on it.
Yeah, no, that movie's fucking awesome. Awesome. I'm gonna take a movie I've always thought is fucking terrifying. Smile.
Yeah,
It's
if I
2.9.
smile.
Smile's horrifying.
Absolutely.
Make one of them every year and I'll watch it.
Honestly, same. Yeah,
I'd watch the shit out of those movies.
absolutely. Okay, let's see. I think getting into some franchise territory here, but one of my favorite horror films to rewatch is Krampus, which
Oh,
is only got
Krampus
a
rules.
2.9. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, Krampus is good. I like Krampus. It's a good pick. Is this my third pick or
Fourth.
fourth? Cool. I'm gonna pick. I've got two that I want to pick. I've got one that I'm definitely picking for the last. Mm, I will not be picking the monkey. So I'm gonna pick Anaconda.
Love that pick.
Yeah.
The new one, obviously, right?
Nope.
I'm kidding.
Absolutely not. The new one's fun, but it's just like it's just tries to be a comedy.
The humor just did not land for me.
Yeah.
One that I think is so fun, and I'll watch both of these movies. I think it's a fun little mini franchise, and that's Happy Death Day.
Yeah, I was picking between the two there. Yeah. Great.
The first one more so than the second one, but yeah,
Absolutely. And then finally, I'm going to go Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
I figured that was coming.
Yeah. I knew that you don't like it nearly as much as I do, so
Yeah.
I can leave that to the end.
Okay, let me just double check. Actually, that one doesn't fit because it has a higher than a 3.0. I was gonna take Final Destination 3, but
I
it's
think Final
actually
Destination 2's there.
yeah. I don't really love that one though.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else. You know, one that is not like my favorite thing in the world, but I get a lot of enjoyment out of watching, and I had the DVD as a kid, and I just think it's fun, is House of Wax
Yeah.
from 2005. Got a 3.0 exactly. Okay, so to recap, Harry took Trap, Willy's Wonderland, Smile, Anaconda, and Halloween 2. And I took Thanksgiving, The Strangers, Krampus, Happy Death Day, and House of Wax.
Yeah.
So some pretty fun, campy horror films there. But that wraps up our thoughts on Slumber Party Massacre, starting off the 80s bangers. Next time we will be doing The Shining. We're definitely not going to start talking about that immediately following this. But until next time, I'm Ash, that's Harry, and we'll see you at the movies.